Hi everybody, we're going to talk about partnering with families this week. Starting with family-centered practice, the key elements of effective family professional partnerships include communication, respect, commitment, equality, and trust. So partnering with families really means that you see the family as an active participant in the care and education of their child. When parents feel that they are an active partner, they feel confident, which increases their well-being and in turn their child's well-being. And when professionals engage parents as active partners, they feel greater job satisfaction and increased effectiveness in their work. Quality partnerships not only support positive outcomes for children, but for parents and for professionals as well. And supporting families as ultimate decision makers can take on a couple of different roles depending on how the professional views the partnership. So when I say that the family is the ultimate decision maker, I really mean that they have the final say in service delivery. You might think that means they just get to say yes or no to how services are offered, but what I actually mean is that we need to recognize their experience as a parent and their knowledge of their child. They know their child best and may even be aware of services within the community that we are not aware of. Let them take some leadership role in finding and accessing resources while supporting them along the way. And I put this quote up here because it reminds me that to be kind is really the most important part of being in a relationship with a family. To be kind is more important than to be right. Many times what people need is not a brilliant mind that speaks, but a heart, but a special heart that listens. And so really what that is saying is that parents can acknowledge us as the experts, but if we always take the stance of the experts and not a listening stance, that can really, really damage a relationship. So when you're working with a family, always acknowledge their experience and their expertise with their child and be kind. For some families, challenges can seem to outweigh their strengths, but strengths still exist. It's our job to ensure that we are emphasizing their strengths and not just focusing on the challenges that they will face. If you view a family from a deficit lens, that truly is all you will see, and they will know it from the get-go. And I've said this many times this quarter, and you will hear me say it over and over again. Relationships truly are everything. When you focus on strengths, that does not imply that you ignore a family's struggles. Rather, it honors that they have strengths regardless of their situation. And when a family notices that you recognize their strengths, that goes a long way in building trust. Oftentimes, families who have experienced turmoil have this view of the world that the only thing people see about them is their struggles. And so if you take a learning stance and view the family from a strengths-based approach, they will trust you and they will respect you, and that will become a reciprocal part of your relationship. And this quote is actually from Robin Williams, and it's such a powerful quote. The human spirit is more powerful than any drug, and that is what needs to be nourished with work, play, friendship, and family. These are the things that matter. Providing support services that focus on family, not just the child, is very, very important. I think that in early intervention, thinking about children birth to 3, we do a better job at that because we recognize that that child is not separate from that family. But once a child enters into compulsory school or elementary school, we tend to view the child as separate from their family, when in fact, they are still very connected to their family. The same rules apply. They know their child best. They are the experts on their child. But we get so focused on academia and getting a child ready for school or helping a child meet academic milestones that we forget about the family. Remember, the focus of attention and services should be extended beyond the child. We need to be thinking about how we are supporting a family as they support their child. It's not just about the support services we offer to a child in a classroom. It's about providing skills for a family to support a child for the rest of their life. We should be working towards enhancing the capacity of the family to care for and support their child throughout their life. And last, family outcomes. The role of the early interventionists is to support families in optimizing their child's development and the family's overall quality of life. This can be accomplished by understanding each family's unique family system, developing partnerships with families, engaging in family-centered practice, and providing family support. I know we've said this a lot of times already in this lecture and in class. Families know their rights and advocate for their child. They know their children best. So be sure that you are providing them with information about their rights as a parent and the rights of their child. Families understand their child's strengths and abilities and special needs. And this isn't always the case. Some families come to the table ready, knowing their child's strengths and understanding special needs, and some families come to the table apprehensive, fearful, and in denial. And it's our job to build relationships that support their understanding and support them as they learn about their child's special needs. And we know that families help their children develop and learn, but we need to provide ways to support their understanding of the things that they can do in their home and outside of their home to help their child continue to develop and grow. I don't think we talk enough in our coursework or in our classes about developing family support systems. We as professionals are one area of support. Families need support systems that extend beyond academia. They need support systems in their community, their extended family, their friends. So be thinking of ways as you grow in the profession of how you will help families build those support systems. And then families need to be able to gain access to desired services and activities in their community. For families who are just beginning to understand a child's diagnosis or understanding a child's special needs, this can be really scary. I think about myself personally and having to tell someone in my community that my child has autism, or having to go to a youth group meeting where I'm afraid that the other boys are going to judge my child because he's different. Those things are all very scary. And so how can you as a professional help that family gain access to community activities where their child will be accepted and included for who they are, but then also finding activities that support whole family development. All right, that's all I have for you in this presentation. We are going to talk also this week about understanding our own biases in terms of children and families with special needs, and hopefully begin to acknowledge that even though we are very open-minded individuals, we still have bias. So, all right, everybody, I will see you online.